I know she is baiting with the OF thing, but on the other hand, she's rebellious enough, so she might just do it. Just imagine, I just don't need NSFW, just few erotic picture, and I'll be gooning for days, bro. What is up with the world, bro? I know some people, some men that I've talked to, they will shake butt too if they turn into a woman somehow, bro, because it's easy money, and that's sad. They made little TJ a millionaire in 3 hours the moment she turned 18. This honestly is literally what is wrong with our whole society. I can't believe that we're in a society where little girls look up to other women who make OFs and they just can't wait until they turn 18 to be selling their soul and selling their bodies to people on the internet. It is truly sad, and it's even sadder for the sick freaks who buy her OnlyFans when she turns 18. They are even worse than her. But yeah, let's react to this, yo. This is crazy to me.
What's going on? Lil Tay's dropping the youngest link of the century. Mark your calendars tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST. Lil Tay rich and finna
So
get
sad.
richer.
So sad.
And what can only be deemed as perverted news, Lil Tay, yeah, that's right. The once famous girl who was talking about how much your grandma's house was in comparison to a chain that she had, launched in OnlyFans. Let's talk about it.
This Lil Tay, I'm richer than all y'all broke ass 30 on my wrist. What the all y'all doing with your lives? I'm 9, I was born in Atlanta, and I was broke as hell. Look at me now, I'm all better than you broke ass.
She grew to fame by making these viral videos where she would essentially flex on people having all sorts of money, saying how she was bossed up, etc., etc. And Lil Tay has gone through her share of controversy in her life, not only saying the racial things, but even faking deaths, brothers' deaths, parents being abusive, all these other things in her past.
Everybody is the creator of their reality, but because she grew up in a reality where she probably lacked the love of her parents and didn't get taught to value her morals over money and materialistic things, this is probably why she ended up like this. It is truly sad when you don't have people to look up to and to be your role model, to say, hey, look, this, like, yes, you're going to get $1 million, and yes, you're going to have so much money. You cannot buy the dignity back that you lost selling your body. It is truly sad, truly pathetic. Society is honestly in shambles. And it's pretty crazy to me that we've watched this little girl grow up since she was 9 years old making these videos, bro. Can you understand that? 9 years old. And there are some freaks out there who waited for the second for her to turn 18 to watch her OF, bro. That is absolutely a tragedy.
But as we've grown with Lil Tay, and it's crazy to say that, seeing as how she was 9 in that video that I just saw, she has become essentially a staple in our lives on the internet. I know, I'm laughing, but I'm trying to be serious because a lot of people do recognize this young girl. But boy, does time fly, because right now, Lil Tay is teetering on the edge of being 18, and she does what every other young girl has done that's been on the internet for a long time: prepare an OF link. Soon to come, just a few days later, some videos would drop about her dropping a link and people propositioning her to do so when she turns 18.
So it's my 18th birthday on July 29th, and every male has been counting down to it and literally telling me to drop the link the second I turn 18. Girlies, what do you think? Should I do it?
Now, this is ultra disturbing for a plethora of reasons, because while I think she is some sort of baiter for the content and all this stuff like that, I do believe, based off of what I've seen from Billie Eilish, Millie Bobby Brown, Bad Baby, that people were anticipating her in her date of being 18.
Yeah, I do remember when Bad Baby or the Catch Me Outside girl did it first. And those people, and how people were literally just age camping her. Like, as soon as she turned 18 and pulled the trigger, she let out the OF. Yes, she made a ton of money, people. You cannot gain back the self-worth. You cannot truly love yourself if you just allow so many people to have access to you. And it's sad that the little girls are growing up and they're probably watching this like, yo, Lil Tay made $1 million? Oh, wow, maybe I could do it when I'm 18. And that's just sad to think, dude.
over the past couple years, faking that she was one age, denying that she was another, etc., etc. So these people had to really be keeping track of it. So Lil Tay goes on to even drop a poll, and while she did get majority of people saying don't drop the leak, there were still 31% of 100,000 people.
Yo, that honestly gives me some hope in society that the majority of people are like, keep it to yourself, bro. We do not care. Like, that kind of just gives me a tiny bit of hope in humanity. But dude, 31% out of 100K, basically 30K people just wanting her to drop it thirsty is wicked timing.
Saying that she should drop the link, and we all know what the link is at this point. Nobody's oblivious. And just more and more tweets up leading to the big old day where she kept baiting people time and time again, getting millions upon millions of views on all these tweets, adding Candace Owens, asking a good question about her maturity level at 9, getting death threats, but now 18 getting the OF link. This was a very weird situation and circumstance. Why it's also weird though is because there's times where Lil Tay was baiting the fact that she is still very young, and it's weird on her behalf because it's disgusting that you would use that as a bargaining chip or a marketing tactic, but it's also disgusting because it's working on people.
Y'all already know what the fuck going on. Lil Tay's dropping the youngest link of the century. Mark your calendars tomorrow, 3 p.m. EST, and nobody, including my family, including the grown-ass haters, is gonna stop me. You know why? Lil Tay rich and finna get richer, bitch.
This is just pure ego. This is what happens when your ego fully consumes you and you become your ego and you live through your ego. You prioritize material wealth. This persona that she has on the internet, she has to embody it and keep it alive so that she could keep the fan base that she has, and so she could just keep the ball rolling and making money.
The youngest link of the century is mad devious. Well, the day of reckoning came and Lil Tay did it. She announced it on her Twitter page that she did drop the link, and she had to make sure that everyone was confirmed that all the exclusive content was shot at 12:01 a.m. on the 18th birthday day. I hate to be a technical person here, but Lil Tay, unless you were born on 12:01, then that still means you were underage when the content was shot. If you were born at 5 in the afternoon,
Omizi is talking about the technicalities. I don't think is that deep. You are still a child in your brain. You are still a child. You cannot even, it is crazy how our world is set up, yo. You cannot drink alcohol, consume marijuana, the devil's lettuce. But at 18, you are able to sell your soul to the government, which is go to the military, which is not a bad thing, you know, if you know how to maneuver through it, and sell your soul and your body on the internet.
You gotta wait till 5 in the afternoon. Oh God, this is sick. That was sick. But what makes it even worse though is that in just a short 3-hour span, Lil Tay reportedly made over $1 million when it comes to making OF content. She said, not bad for 3 hours. We broke the fuck out of the OnlyFans record. What are we doing?
$1 million? You guys made her $1 million because you couldn't wait for her to drop content? And from what Twitter is saying, them fiend out dudes got finesse. It's dudes crying on Twitter saying that they got scammed, saying that all they see is normal photos. Do you not see the overall issue that you even went to go pay for that?
If you pay for OnlyFans, you are already sick in the head to me. But if on top of that, you are waiting for a child to turn into the age of consent in order to see her naked, because I know that's what people are hoping for. You're not hoping for, you know, the softcore stuff, bro. You want everything. You are a sicko. You need to go get help. You made this little girl a millionaire because you are thirsty to go watch her content. And then getting on Twitter to be upset at the fact that you got finessed. The audacity.
Nothing's wrong with this, but we've got to unpack how we even got here. I've talked about it on this channel, and I think a lot of people would agree that the way that we go about putting young kids on the internet is totally disgusting. It's the reason why people like Casey Neistat have completely left his children's public faces off of the internet. Sure, he's shown some of them, which now in hindsight is probably even too much, but being a public entity as a child on the internet unfortunately attracts PDF files. Like, there's no other way to describe what is going on in real time, and especially in the wake of that one guy who had the island's list seemingly disappearing from the government's, you know, eye. I think it's very telling as to how we as a society deal with these things when it involves kids and sexualized behavior.
What's even wilder is that just like any other substance in the world, let's say marijuana and alcohol, if you consume these things before your brain has fully developed, it will maybe delay your brain's development or make it even worse. Like your brain will not fully develop because you were putting all these chemicals into them while you were growing up. I believe 100% that the internet is just like that. If a child is growing up on the internet at 9 years old and sees all these likes and comments and people commenting on their lives, it is going to eat away at their brain and shape how their brain works when they're older. Little Tay grew up on this internet stuff at 9 years old, if that's what her real age was. And then it just affected her when she turned 18, dude. It was a build up to this, I guarantee. Like she grew up and she got molded from when she was a child to become what she is now.
Before Lil Tay even made this drop, there were people foaming at the mouths on Reddit about the potential content that she could be dropping. Literally saying that, hey, I know it's bait, but I literally cannot control my urges and my lust.
Wait, what is this guy doing? Wait, hold up. Lil Tay is 17 and Reddit is losing their mind at the very absolutely disgusting. I know she is baiting with the OF thing, but on the other hand, she's rebellious enough so she might just do it. Just imagine, I just don't need NSFW, just few erotic picture and I'll be gooning for days, bro. What is up with the world, bro?
In my lust.
It's him right there, officer.
How can I help you today?
Yes, I would like to report a nigga wildin'.
This situation even looks
What?
worse knowing that Lil Tay has been known to lie on the internet. And not just lie about stupid and silly things, but literally lie about her age. And this is to the point where Google can't even keep up. There's been tweets of her having to correct her age. Google is wrong. She's saying she's one thing. She's saying she's that thing. But literally in a year's time, she just went 18 years old. Now, I will say that OF does require users to be 18 years old. They do their own version of age verification check, so we should be able to, you know, at least guarantee that way if we're trusting OF that Lil Tay is 18. But there are people out there that literally think that Lil Tay is 14 years old, like she told us back in January of 24, and they were the ones who were saying, I want to click on the link, drop the youngest link in the game. One of the bigger problems with this is that these young women, after years and years and years of being sexualized, have been indoctrinated to believe that, hey, sex sells, I need to use my gifts and my assets to go towards, you know, funding my lifestyle or whatever the case may be, and ultimately manipulate this audience of men or give them what they want and cave into their fetishes. I really don't know.
Yeah, dude. Our society is built on a way that if you have let's say you're a woman that grew up with and you have a low self-esteem. Actually, no, maybe you need some self-esteem to be an OF model. But if you have no other thing to you, no talent, no aspirations, but then you grew up on the internet. You grew up on the internet and then you see all these girls making so much money off of OF. Maybe you're not passionate about it, but you see that this is the only way that you can possibly make it rich or something like that. I know some people, some men that I've talked to, they will shake butt too if they turn into a woman somehow, bro, because it's easy money, and that's sad. This all stems from society making people numb to sexualization, putting it everywhere, putting melons and butt everywhere, yo. And then eventually people are getting desensitized to these freaky things. It's like, oh, this is a normal thing. If she's showing her breasts over here, I could put it too. It's not that deep. These people who put everything out there do not value themselves. Internally, they feel empty. They might even get a hit out of people thirsting over them on the internet because it's giving them this external validation that they don't have within. So they don't care to put all their body out there.
And trust me, a lot of content creators, if they found a way to tap the pockets of those people that consume their content, would. That's why some of us start a Patreon to give exclusive content at patreon.com/Omeezy. But no, on a serious note, there's a lot of creators who, if they had an audience in which they could tap the pockets of, they definitely would. But sadly, they don't, or maybe good thing that they won't. The question is, would you do it or would you not do it? Specifically in this manner. And the only reason why young young women are doing these specific things is because sex work has become so normalized.
That's what I'm saying. That's
Lil
what I
Tay
said.
just made $1 million on OF within 3 hours on her 18th birthday. Please let that sink in. Listen, I'm not here to judge anyone on how they make their money, but I do think it's creepy that the internet sits and counts down and waits for girls to turn 18. Trust me, I get the hustle, I respect the bag, but when society makes girls, teenage girls, feel like their most valuable asset is their body once they turn a certain age, that's when it becomes a problem. Let's bring back shame, because all it took was 3 hours. 3 hours for her to make 1 million.
This video, I've been talking about Lil Tay and other youth content creators and their desire or begging from their audience to drop OF content. But if we're being real, this stuff happens not only for the young women content creators, but literally for all women content creators. No matter the niche, no matter the lane, as long as there is a male presence in it and you are a woman posting content, there are going to be men begging you to drop an OF link.
Stop asking me for the link in bio for my OnlyFans. I don't have an OnlyFans and there will never be an OnlyFans.
She's not dropping the OF because she made the bag off that crypto scam. You already know she's swimming in them hot $2.
You're thinking about how much money you'd make on OnlyFans. Listen, have I had the thought, like, I wonder, mathematically speaking, how much I would make? Sure, most girls probably have thought that. But have I ever actually considered doing it? Nor, absolutely not.
It's happened to some.
I respect it, but honestly, Pokimane is so rich, she really don't need it. But I'm telling you, if she were to, she will be making a bag. People in her chat be thirsting over her already. Just imagine if she just dropped it. I'm gonna call it there. Lil Tay, if she didn't drop anything too insane and too revealing, I'm not gonna fault her too much like Omizi said. But the people who bought and waited for her to turn 18 are sick and will probably perish alone because they do not value women for who they are. They value them for their body, like Omizi said. The only reason this exists is because those men exist that are thirsty and will stop at nothing to just goon that one more girl. Absolutely tragic situation. I appreciate you for tuning in as always. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed it. It helps the channel immensely. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day.